Hey everybody, it's Tom with Path to Billions, helping you find a path towards financial freedom and a better life. If you want to join me on that path, please consider subscribing. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about why you need a repricer in your growing Amazon business and how it helped me double from $7,000 a month in April to $14,000 a month in May. Now, obviously you won't be able to double your sales every month on Amazon with a repricer, but it will take your Amazon business to the next level. For this video, I'm going to cover what a repricer is, when you should get one, why you should get one, which one I have, and how to start implementing. So let's start with what a repricer is. A repricer is just a piece of software that integrates directly with your Amazon Seller Central account to automatically update your pricing on all the active listings you have. Now it updates this pricing based on certain criteria that you can set. And the criteria you can choose to update on is based on the tier you pay for and the repricer you have. I'll get into that more when I talk about which repricer I have. Now, how do you know if you should implement a repricer in your business? Well, I think that comes down to whether or not you have too many active listings to manually keep track of pricing. I would say this is in between 50 and 100 listings, but you have to keep in mind that most sellers are going to have a repricer on Amazon, so the pricing is going to constantly fluctuate. The other thing to keep in mind is Amazon rotates buy box based on many different factors. And for some items, the buy box can actually rotate a couple times per hour. And trying to keep track of that manually is going to be rather difficult. Ultimately, the buy box is what's going to help you get more sales on Amazon. And this is where a repricer comes in handy. So this is why you should get a repricer for your business. A repricer can keep track of your listings 24/7 for price updates. And depending on the repricer you have, it could update your pricing every 5 minutes. The thing with selling on Amazon is the majority of your sales are going to be coming from the Amazon buy box. So if you're not keeping your pricing up to date with your competitors, you are going to lose out on a lot of sales. The other big reason to get a repricer is simply because of price drops. If you've been selling on Amazon for any amount of time, you'll be aware of these price drops. You go to a store, find a product for $20, by the time you ship it in and it gets available on Amazon, it's down to $19. Unfortunately, this is inevitable in a business model like Amazon, especially in categories and products that are ungated to everyone. If you think about it, you go to Target, find a product that's worth $20, well, so can everybody else that goes to Target. A repricer is your safety net. It'll see the buy box price dropping, and it'll reprice your item to keep up with that. So ultimately, you'll get out before there is no profit to be made. Alright, you know what a repricer is, you know when you should implement it and why you should implement it. Now let's talk about the repricer I have, which is Be Cool. I'll leave a link down in the description if you want a 14-day free trial to try it out for yourself. There's two main reasons I chose Be Cool. The first one being that it integrates directly with Inventory Lab, and that way it knows your exact cost per unit. The reason that's helpful is for the second reason, and that is that you can actually update your pricing based on profit margins and ROI. Some other repricers, you can only choose your pricing based off, say, I want my minimum price to be what I paid for it plus $2. Whereas with Be Cool, you can actually base it on your profit margin or your ROI. Now I'll jump into my computer and give you a quick tour of Be Cool. And in the future, I'm planning on posting a full in-depth video on this. So don't forget to subscribe, turn on notifications so you can be aware of when that video comes out. So this page reminds me a lot of Seller Central or Inventory Lab, where it gives you a ton of information on the products you currently have listed, and we'll go through some of that real quick. So your first column is your repricing, and you can actually pause or stop the repricing. Your next column is your SKU status and condition. The next column is title, fulfillment, offers, ASIN, buy box percentage, buy box owner, position, and rank. And so what all that means is the first box here that's blank, that's the title of the item. Next, you have that it's an FBA offer. You have that there's 10 other offers on the product. The next blank box you see is the ASIN. Then you have the buy box percentage, and that just means how many times you've won the buy box. Next, you have that the buy box owner is an FBA offer. Next, you have that I'm third in position. Then you have the sales ranks, which is 12,800. Then you have this little option to take notes on the item. Your next column is the date you created this. So you can see I created this listing on November 19th. I have 7 in stock. It cost me $7.25 per unit. You have your minimum price, your maximum price, the rule, your price plus shipping. Then you have a column for shipping costs. Then you can see the low price plus shipping, the buy box plus shipping, how many units I sold, and my estimated profit for every unit I sell. So in order to use this repricer properly, you have to set your rules, your minimum price, your maximum price, and your actual rule for repricing. So I'll start with the minimum price, and you can actually click on this little calculator here, and you got your minimum price, you got your product cost, you got your estimated profit off that sale if it sells at the minimum price, you have your referral fee and fulfillment fees, you have your profit margin, you have your return on investment. And the nice thing with this calculator is you see these little refresh buttons here. If you want to change your price, you can actually see all your numbers before you actually set it. So if I wanted to make $3 off this item as a minimum, I can refresh, and you'll see my minimum price will now be $17.66. You can see the profit margin goes up to 17%, and my ROI goes up to 41%. So we'll hit cancel on that. And it's the same thing for the maximum price. You click this little calculator, and you could change all this, and you could refresh it to see. So if I want to make $30 on this, hit the refresh button. It'll show me all the current numbers based on that estimated profit, and you can change any one of these 4 boxes with a refresh symbol next to it. Hit cancel on this. Then the other thing you have to set is your rule, and there's 4 different rules you can choose from. You have stay competitive, you have maximize profit, you have compete for the buy box and maximize profit, and you have compete for the buy box, stay competitive. I choose to compete for the buy box and maximize profit. I want to win the buy box the most I can while still maximizing how much money I make. And then you see this has a calculator too. So if you actually have your repricing paused, you can actually set your price yourself. So this is actually good if there's ever a race to the bottom. You can actually go and pause your repricing and then set your price manually, and then wait for that race to the bottom to be over, wait for the cheap guys to sell out, and then get more profit than them. Now in order for your repricer to work, you need to set the minimum price, your maximum price, and your rule. But obviously if you have hundreds of listings, you don't want to do this manually. So the nice thing is you can actually go up here to bulk actions, and you hit set min max price and rule. Click on that, it brings this box up. So what I do is apply to all listings missing min price, max price, and rule. Click that. You can see I currently don't have any listings that are missing those things, but I'll show you how to do it anyway. Turn on all 3 of these. You can set your rule. As I said, I set my rule to compete for the buy box, maximize profit. Then my max price is actually based on profit margin, and I just do 50%. My minimum price is based on ROI at 20%. Now the thing to keep in mind with this piece right here is this is just a catch-all to set rules for my items to make sure the repricing starts. But this is not actually meant to be the rules I set for all my items permanently. What I mean by that is I have certain replenishable items that I know the price fluctuates. It'll be here, and then it'll go down, and then once the cheap people sell out, it'll go back up. And so instead of pricing my products at a price where it'll sell at the bottom, I'll price it where it'll sell somewhere in the middle, so that way I can maximize the most profit. So I just set this for catch-all. I'll hit save. I don't currently have any listings that are missing it, so it won't update. But if you scroll down here, you can see last time I did this, I had 2 listings that needed it. It successfully did 2 and 0 failed. The nice thing is if you have any failed listings, you can actually click it like this, and then it'll bring up a page and it'll say what listings failed and why. So sometimes, for instance, if your items aren't active yet, they'll fail. So you just have to come back and redo the pricing rules. So we'll cancel on this, and I'll show you an example real quick. Alright, so here's one of my replenishable items that I'll show you an example of. As I mentioned, sometimes the price fluctuates, it goes down, then comes back up after the lower prices sell. So for these ones, my minimum price is actually based on an ROI of 50%. That's 30% higher than the 20% I set as a catch-all. And that's because I know this is a replenishable product, so I keep setting it in. And I know I want to make at least a certain amount of profit on them, so I set my minimum price higher than I would on my other items. So this is something you'll just have to figure out as you start using it more. You'll have your base rules you want to set just to catch everything, so at least starts repricing. But then you'll know your replenishable items, you tend to want to set a higher minimum price because you don't want your replenishable items to sell out for dirt cheap prices, because then it doesn't make it worth your while to keep buying them and selling them. And each item, each replenishable item is ultimately going to be different depending on what your min and max price are going to be. So I set the catch-all for most of them. The one nice thing to keep in mind though is because these items are replenishable, you don't have to reset the rules every time you buy them because you're replenishing an active listing. So your min price, your max price, and your rule will already be set for these items. So if I go and buy more of this product here, I don't have to come in and set the min price, max price, and rule again. It's already there because I have an active listing. So that's the one really nice benefit of having replenishable items. The catch-all is just for items that you're selling for the first time. Now, I mentioned earlier, I'll have a 14-day free trial down in the description if you're interested in trying this out. Just for those who are curious about pricing on this, the base price is $25 a month, and that gets you repricing of every 15 minutes. You have 1,000 listings. But the one thing with the cheapest plan is that you don't get ROI settings, which is what I showed where I'm setting my min price and my max price based on ROI and profit margins. So I actually shell out the $50 a month just to get that, and it's so worth it to me. And you can see if you have a huge Amazon store and you have 10,000 listings, it's going to cost you $100 a month. But if you have 10,000 listings active at any one time, it's definitely going to be worth to pay $100 a month. This is the Repricer I use to go from $7,000 a month in sales in April to almost $14,000 a month in May. And I would highly recommend it to step up your Amazon business. The nice thing is once you free up your time from manually pricing a ton of items, you now have more time to go source and grow your business even farther. So if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions or if you have any ideas for future videos. Don't forget to subscribe, and thanks for watching.